So I'm going to
All
start
right.
in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Beauty Birds podcast. Today we're mixing up a bit for Beauty Birds After Dark. Tara and I are here tonight with drinks in hand. I was going to say face masks were applicable, but we both decided to go hard with the makeup instead. And we're a bit more low-key for this one. We're still here to keep it light and talk makeup, but we also have to talk about coronavirus or COVID-19.
A new episode last week. The episode we planned was recorded before shit absolutely hit the fan, and we decided just to pull it before it went live. As funny as it is and as funny as we are, we did not. This was not the time to publish 45 minutes of us just calling out brands for their bad packaging and bad packaging decisions. So we're probably just going to save that as like a bonus episode and publish it at a later date.
Sounds good to me. So stay home, wash your hands, support local businesses as much as you can, buy gift cards to be used at a later date, whatever you need to do. Now let's have some drinks and talk about makeup. What are you drinking? What's on your face? What's going on?
Oh boy. Okay. A lot of questions. So I am drinking the White Walker Johnny Walker. We had bought it when it came out. We lined up at the liquor store to get it, and me and Devin bought a bottle. And we're like, you know what? We're never going to open this because Game of Thrones is amazing, and this is going to be a collector's item one day. And we cracked it open as soon as the finale was just terrible.
The trash finale.
It's not a collector's item. Everything from Game of Thrones is worthless now. So we are just trying to power through some aggressive Scotch whiskey.
Social distancing is a good time to watch the series if you haven't watched it. Just know the finale is trash.
We were talking about this the other day, Devin and I feel bad recommending it to people knowing what kind of ending they're signing up for. You get invested, you fall in love with the show, and just for
I just want to be don't watch the last episode. Just leave it.
Just leave it.
Just leave it and don't watch the last episode.
Yeah, I can't in good faith recommend Game of Thrones anymore. But yeah, so that's what I'm drinking. And on my face, I have a couple of things. I have the L'Oreal Glotion on, which is don't even get me started.
That's a bad name.
I know, but I love it. It's not, I don't know what it's supposed to be. I think even though I've never tried this product I'm about to compare it to, I think this is what it would be closest to. The Charlotte Tilbury flawless filter.
Oh, it's like a glowy moisturizer primer situation.
Yeah, it's not a BB cream, and it doesn't claim to have coverage, but it just evens out my skin tone really well. And I love it. So I have that on. Cover FX, I have these with me. The custom enhancer drops, which I don't even think they sell anymore, but I've been trying to power through this teeny tiny little sample.
You love those, right? I remember you being quite into those when they first came out.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they discontinued them, so this is it. All right. What about you?
I'm drinking, it's in my glass, but I have the can. I'm drinking sparkling red wine, which is it's 8.5%. It's basically slightly alcoholic Coke. It's not anything crazy, though I was told that I could text Nick when I ran out and he would bring me an old-fashioned, which is fantastic. And on my face, I'm wearing a lot of things today. I went hard.
You did.
Some of you who are watching and not just listening may have noticed that I fully G.I. Janed my head / that girl from Empire Records, whose name I can't remember. Though this wasn't a depressive thing. This was everything is shut down because coronavirus and I can't get a haircut and it's making me crazy and I've kind of always wanted to buzz my head. So I asked Nick to do it and he did it yesterday and I'm kind of loving it. Anyway, if you are socially distancing and drinking while recording a podcast late at night, what better time than to go nuts with makeup?
Right?
I'm wearing the Melt Vita palette and the Sugar Pill Fun Size palette on my eyeballs, which, side note, great combo team. I feel everything from the Fun Size palette is a really great transition shade for all of the more intense pigment and stuff in the Vita palette.
So that is exactly what sold me on the Fun Size palette. I wasn't going to get it until I saw, I don't remember who it was. There was some beauty guru, obviously, said that the Fun Size palette is an incredible companion palette to every single colorful palette out there.
Yeah, I feel it absolutely can stand on its own if you want it to, but if you're trying to go harder with the even brighter shades, it's such a great transition shade, and like blending out and like a little blending between shades. I'm into it. Oh no, you're frozen. Hello?
Oh God, you froze.
You froze.
You froze.
Hopefully me talking still recorded.
Okay.
Anyway, the other thing on my face that I feel like I have to note, even though I'm wearing a ton of highlight also, as I finally broke into the Suva Beauty, what are they actually called? I don't know what they're called. Hydroliners, right? They're basically a water activated liquid gel eyeliner. I don't know, but I have the bright orange shade, which is called Acid Trip, which is UV sensitive, reflective, responsive, whatever. And the purple is called Grape Soda, which is also a UV shade. I'm not skilled with liquid eyeliner things, and I felt like those were really easy to use. Oh, you froze.
You're
This
good.
should be fun. I bet there's so many people using Zoom right now.
Right? I was thinking that.
I had that thought too.
But yeah, those Suva hydroliners are something I've always seen on Instagram, and I'm just like, those are the coolest fucking things ever.
I bought them, I think, with encouragement from Nick over Black Friday.
Yeah, I remember you texted me and was like, I don't know what happened. I blacked out, and now I own a bunch of these hydroliners.
Yeah, I bought 4, and I literally have had them since before we moved to Texas, which was before Christmas, and I just used them for the first time.
All right, what are we doing today?
I think we decided to go a bit more lighthearted in the face of all the craziness right now. So we're going to do our very first Smash or Pass episode, which I know Tara's been looking forward to for ages.
I
Do you want
have
to
been.
explain what Smash or Pass is?
Oh my God, in general or for us?
Both.
All right, Smash or Pass is, well, I'll just explain it for us. So what we're going to do is talk about all of the new releases in the beauty world and talk about whether we'd smash that or pass that.
Smash that, meaning we like it and we want to buy it.
Yeah, thank you for being my translator.
Take my money. I just figured that my mom was probably listening and she's going to be like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I don't know either. Yeah.
So I kind of made a little list separated by category, but I'm sure you have a different approach.
Yeah, I was going to say my chaotic energy didn't even think to do something like that. I just opened up Trend Mood and was going to roll through it, which if you don't know what Trend Mood is this account on Instagram that is like the new release authority. She posts every new release from like major brands and some indie brands, but mostly just major brands, whether it's skincare, makeup, and hair care sometimes. And then I'm also going to go to the Indie Mood, who posts the same but indie brands, and that is also one of my favorite accounts.
I didn't know that was a thing. I literally just learned about it when Tara told me about it 30 seconds before we started recording, and my life has changed.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
Indie brands are usually smaller companies. A lot of the time they're women owned or minority owned, which is really great. And it just means that they're not in like major retailers. So you're not going to find them in Sephora. You're not going to find them at Ulta. It's typically like small online stores or like maybe a local presence wherever they're made if they're at like a maker fair or something.
Yeah, I mean, some indie brands are like finding their ways to Ultas and Sephora's though, because think about Melt. They totally were an indie brand like a year or two ago.
I guess indie also like quite literally just means independently owned. So they're not owned by a bigger company. For example, like Urban Decay, NYX, all those companies are owned by L'Oreal, for example, or whoever. What's
I guess,
first on your list?
I'm gonna scroll down a bit just to like not talk about the newest stuff. Okay, here's exactly where I'm gonna start. Because I remember we were sending each other messages back and forth of like new stuff. So this is March 11th. And if this is not the longest month of your life, then I don't know what is, because I feel like I saw this palette a year ago and sent it to you by now. But I'm going to talk about the Viseart Petite Pro.
They have a couple of them though, right?
Yes, so this is their newest one to come out, and they're 8-pan palettes. They're like little guys, which if you've heard me go on rants before about travel-friendly makeup, this like ticks all of the boxes for me. But this is the first one of this line to actually catch my attention.
Is this the Oh wait, am I looking at the right thing? The Petite Pro Shushu palette.
Correct.
It's actually a
So
really cute name.
I thought it was adorable. It's bright pinks and oranges with like a couple of shimmers. And this is one of the few color palettes that I think actually speaks to me from these little ones. But I own all these shades, so I'm not going to get it.
I'm looking
Um,
at them now. It is really cute. I think that like neutral leaning, but still have like a bright pink and like a bright coral, perfect for spring coming. But I think realistically, if you like colorful eyeshadow, you probably own all of these shades already.
I agree, but you know what? I'm going to give this. So here's the stitch with me and buying things. I'm probably not buying anything anytime soon, just because it's one of those times where I'm in more of like a save money mode than spend money, and I kind of have a very well-rounded collection. But theoretically, I would buy everything that catches my eye if I could. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a theoretical smash.
I'm okay with a theoretical smash.
Yeah, I really like this one.
All right, I'm going to talk about skincare for a second because
It,
I actually tried a foil sample, like a single use sample the other day of the Milk vegan moisturizer, and very annoyed to say, I really liked it. I really liked it.
you know what? Milk Makeup is one of those brands where I feel like nearly everything they release, I really like.
I'm currently in a weird transition phase with my skincare because we moved to Texas and the weather here is obviously very different from Oregon. I say obviously. If you don't know, the weather in Texas is very different from the weather in Oregon. And my pre existing skincare routine is not really cutting it here. And so I'm currently testing out, I just got the Tatcha Dewy Skin Moisturizer. I think that's what it's called. I got a little mini one to try, but I'm kind of open to testing some things out. And not only would I say that I think the Milk Vegan Moisturizer is a smash, I might actually buy the mini one after I finish this moisturizer.
I support that. I really like Milk. I feel like they're a really good brand.
Yeah.
I will give it a theoretical smash as well.
Which is funny because I know that your skin is much oilier than mine. So I'd be really curious to know if you actually like it. I think you might
Yeah.
struggle to wear that under your makeup.
No, I get really dehydrated skin in the winter, just being in Pittsburgh. So like I have very oily skin, but it tends to dehydrate fast if I stray off the beaten path of my routine.
Well, then it's good. If it's good for both of us, I feel like that covers literally everyone else because we're such
Right?
opposites in particularly in skincare.
I know.
All right, what else we
Um,
got?
okay, I'm gonna talk about one that so the Mac Selena collaboration.
Wait, another
Um,
one?
yes, they are collaborating with her estate once again. And this time it just looks like it says a rose embellished extra dimension skin finish. Um, I'm gonna say pass because while I don't doubt that it's lovely, at this point it feels more like a cash grab than something that they care about in the slightest.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
Yeah, I don't have much like proof or reason for thinking this, but for some underlying reason, I just feel like they are at this point exploiting her name because they saw how well the first collab went, and I don't like it.
I kind of feel that way with any collab where the artist has since passed on. I
Hmm.
felt really skeeved out by the Urban Decay Basquiat
Um,
collection.
the
Like,
Ulta Frida Kahlo.
yeah, like those people would have, I can't, I'm not going to curse, would have really, really hated that. Like, there's no way they would have agreed to this, I think, while they were
Yeah,
alive. And so
I
it
I
feels
could
like a cash grab both from the brand and also from their estate.
I could see Selena having done something with a company for makeup.
That one does make the most sense, I think.
It makes the most sense round one, but round two feels so much more disingenuous. Where round one was like, oh my God, how beautiful. This is going to be so lovely. I would love to have like a collector's item with Selena's name on it. Round two feels more like, well, round one did so well. So yeah, I'm gonna go with
Collective pass.
collective pass. Yeah. All right. What else do you got?
I'm super excited to talk about this one. I'm looking on the Trend Mood Instagram, and I'm super pumped for the Fenty cream blushes and bronzers.
Yes.
They do a lot of these bronzer shades in their Match Sticks, which is a stick one, and they have
Hmm.
a new one that I know you have some feelings about. Um, but I find those really intimidating.
Yeah, I could
And
definitely understand that.
I'm really excited to try I've been looking for a cream bronzer for like a year and a half.
You know which one I love? Melt Makeup has their like stick cream bronzer.
I am worried that that shade is like too warm orange, not the right color
Um,
for me.
so I love cool tone bronzers, and it's a little on the warm side, but it blends out so well that it doesn't look off,
Good to
if that makes
know.
sense. Good to know.
Still
But
probably gonna pick the Fenty cream bronzer.
yeah, I'll go collective smash. I actually at some point might invest in a Fenty cream blush or bronzer because I do like them a lot.
They also are coming out with mascara, right?
Hmm.
I haven't looked into it at all, but I'm in
You
the
know,
market for a new mascara.
oh my God, can I actually have it in front of me because I wasn't sure what products I was going to talk about when we do like the what's on your face.
Marc
The Mark.
Jacobs.
Mm. It makes me so angry that this is so expensive because I love it so much and it actually is better than all the drugstore ones I've tried because I was one of those non-believers that was like, my $6 mascara cannot be any better than your Marc Jacobs mascara for $25. Get out of here. And it is. This is so much better. I bought it on sale when they had it like dressed up as an ornament at Sephora for $10. God, it's so good. I'm angry. You can't hear it because my headphones and mic are on, but I slammed it down on the ground.
The Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara is a superior product.
Goddamn delicious.
I don't know why I like stopped buying it. Right now I have the Hourglass, what is it, Caution?
Oh
Which
yeah.
is like a really lovely uh everyday, like low-key mascara. And then I'm currently testing out the Too Faced Damn Girl
Damn
mascara,
girl.
which
Oh god, it's
I'm
another one.
actually
I
wearing
hate
it
the name.
today. I hate the name. I kind of like it. I actually have a mini to send you because I have other things
Oh.
to send you, including baby formula because coronavirus.
Oh my
Um,
god. I can't even. All right. I appreciate you. You're great.
Thank you. Um, I want to talk about Wishful. That's Huda's like skincare brand, right?
Yes, it is.
They have some new stuff coming out. I think the branding overall is quite new.
I am going to give the entire brand a collective pass.
I was just going to say that. I actually
Because
looked into the ingredients for, I think they had like an exfoliating thing,
yes,
and it wasn't the worst. Like, there's a lot of brands out there who definitely just like objectively have far worse ingredients of things that I just like would not put on my face,
totally.
but not impressed.
Not impressed enough for the price tag.
Yep.
And again, just like the Max Selena thing, far too disingenuous of a venture. Because like look at brands like DCM with The Ordinary in every single one of their branches, and then like Good Molecules and like so many other skincare brands that like make good ingredients their life. And it's hard to look at a brand like Huda um, with her like I don't know if anyone else follows her, but she often puts out really, really bad advice on her Instagram.
True.
So it's hard to follow a brand like that and either A, spend extra money for a brand with like lesser quality ingredients or there's no B. That was it. It's hard to follow a brand like that.
Yeah, I think especially in the last maybe 2 years, it's gotten way easier to find really high quality skincare at affordable price points. So it's really, it really kind of bugs me that brands continue to use bad ingredients, things that are like, we know are objectively irritating for skin that are
Yeah,
not good to use, and then like having 30 something dollar price points. Because the people that are buying that are like, I'm assuming here, but I'm going to guess it's the 18 to 24 demographic.
Well, not only that, it's people who walk into like Sephora or wherever this is sold, not really knowing much about skincare, but seeing something that looks really nice with a nice price tag, going, "Oh, this has to be good," and like not really having the background and knowledge to know that they could either A, get it like much cheaper, or like B, what do I keep doing A and B? I have no B.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. I have two that I want to talk about. I have a bunch that I want to talk about, but I'm going to forget these two if I don't do it.
Okay.
Okay. Something that is just like forever a collective past for me. Beauty Blender releasing different colors as if it's a big deal.
I don't understand this. I actually have like multicolored huge sponge collections like written down because ColourPop also just came out with like it's like 5 sponges in a box set, and I don't get it.
So that one was all different types of sponges, which I guess is cute if you want to like try them all out. That some of them were like flat, some of them were like different, like they look like little peeps, and the traditional Beauty Blenders
Nobody
like
needs 5 different sponges.
no, for sure no. I usually buy the Real Techniques in the 2-pack so I don't have to go back for a while. But the Beauty Blender one that released like green, who's sitting back getting hype like, yo, it's green. Like it's the same shit just with a different color. That one I just wanted to pass. I
Wait,
just
was
wanted to
this supposed to be like a St. Patrick's Day thing?
yeah.
That is atrocious.
It's not even it's just silly. How silly of them.
Oh, however, I'm looking at Trend Mood and it looks like right next to it, Real Techniques also came out with a green one for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, because it's green into St. Patrick's Day. Nothing groundbreaking just happened.
But I need to point out that I'm pretty sure the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge is what, like $5.95?
Mm-hmm. I
And
think
the
it's like
Beauty
$5.99.
Blender is $20.
Ridiculous. I actually tried. I had 2 beauty blenders in my life because when I first got into makeup, I was like, "Oh, everybody uses a beauty blender. I need a beauty blender." And I tried it, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty legit. I guess I see the hype." And like, I used it for a while, and then it ran out, and I was like, "Well, I guess I should buy another one." So I tried another one in a different color, and I was like, "You know what? I think I'm a full-blown idiot." And then I bought the Real Techniques one.
I've gone back. I think Beauty Blender was my first one, and I was like, cool, this is great. And then I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
the Real Techniques is literally a quarter of the price.
It's
And
the
I've
same
gone
freaking
back
thing.
to Beauty Blender like once or twice, and every time I'm like, I think I actually prefer the Real Techniques one.
It's the same friggin' thing.
Though,
And then yeah,
may I note, I haven't
yeah,
been using a sponge at all. I used all
me neither.
brushes today.
Mm-hmm. So take that.
Hygiene for coronavirus. That's not why.
Okay, wait. My second one that I didn't want to forget because I know it's gonna rile you up. The sugar pill capsule collection in their silly little pill shape.
My eye is
Smash,
twitching.
smash.
I actually really like the color story of it. If I wasn't, I hate to say it this way, but if I wasn't just like an experienced makeup user and I didn't already own basically every shade in this palette that I know that I would use, I would absolutely buy it.
If
But
we haven't already hit makeup nirvana,
I hate the layout of it.
I love it. I'm here for it. I think it's cute. It's kitschy. It looks travel friendly. They're adorable.
It's
I want
enormous. It's
them.
like this big. I'm holding up my hands quite far apart for those that are listening. I don't
I
think it's
don't
particularly
know.
small because I think it fits into their standard packaging, which is
Long.
probably about the size of the regular Sugar Pill
Yeah, you know
Pro
what?
palette.
Their Sugar Pill Pro palette is actually kind of not travel friendly. But you know what I hate more than long palettes?
Fat.
Um, like big chunky palettes. So like if it's long and like thin, I feel like I'm fine with that. I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
not trying to be fat phobic. I just want it to fit in my travel case.
smash.
You know what? I'll smash it with you because wait, how many shades are in here? One, two, there's 10 shades, and like 8 of them I would use with regularity.
Ooh, I have another one that is. I'm saying this one for you. Um, the Melt Rust palette.
I have feelings.
Um, I also have feelings. I just want to remind Melt that they can still make stacks and we will still buy them.
I'm really wondering if the move to palettes was like, here's how much storage space you get at a Sephora end cap. Because like in the packaging, stacks take up more space.
Oh, but they're so cute.
I agree. I prefer the packaging of their stacks. I think that they have a couple of really fantastic palettes. I have Gemini, Vita, and Muerte, and I love them. But I already own the Rust stack.
Yeah.
And while in the pans, the Rust palette looks beautiful, I saw swatches on their website, and I was not impressed.
They look funky, right? Because
Yeah,
like
I
I'm
don't
looking at the
know.
palette, there's looks like there should be like a beautiful rusty orange, and I feel
Yeah.
like the swatches just have beiges and browns.
The other crazy thing is, I think what they've been doing with these palettes that they have stacks of is all of the shades from the stack are in the palette. And then they just added a couple things. Because I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure that classic, antique, rubbish, rust, and rot are in the
Yes.
original rust stack.
Yep, those all sound familiar. They added
And I
shimmers.
don't super care about the glittery shades.
No.
However, there's a bright yellow in there called Erode, and I want to get my hands on that.
I also would like to point out that I've taken you on my chaotic energy stream of consciousness where we've just ignored the list that you
Yeah.
beautifully wrote out.
Okay, I mentioned the Fenty matchsticks
Uh-huh.
when I was talking about the cream bronzers, but they came out with a new one, and I said that I know you have feelings about it, and then we didn't talk about it. The
Oh, grease.
Fenty matchsticks glow stick, which is basically a grease stick.
It just looks like grease, which I think is hilarious because I feel like we've come full circle where it was like first we had greasy skin and everyone was like, buy this matte foundation and cover it because you can't look greasy, and then put this highlighter on top so that you still look shiny. And now we're just literally, it's just a grease stick. It's allegedly what it is what a instant dewy radiance with a natural looking glass finish. It's translucent, non-sticky base glides over the skin, leaving a pearly iridescent glow without the glitter. Grease. It looks like you went to the gym and you've got that glow about you of someone who's really happy that they just worked out.
It's
Which,
$25, and I'm gonna bet I could get the same look if I go outside in the summer in Texas for 5 minutes.
oh, for sure. I mean, I respect what they've done.
I want to talk about
Oh, but
uh
which, by the way, pass. Collective
oh
pass
yeah,
on that.
collective pass on that. We talked about this the other day, and I really want to make fun of it, but also I kind of really want it. The Sephora came out with a skincare refrigerator. It's a mini
Oh,
fridge. It's like a desktop mini fridge. It's $60, which realistically, like for a mini fridge, is probably kind of a lot.
I think, yeah,
But I
there.
also like the first time I saw it was from Drunk Elephant, and I'm gonna bet that theirs is a lot more.
So there's a lot of brands now that have um, skincare fridges that I feel like you can get one for much cheaper. I think there is a brand called like literally the skincare fridge. I'm not gonna assume that it's $40, but I feel like it's $40. And then also they've been popping up at like TJ Maxx and Marshalls a bunch for much cheaper than $60.
Okay, so I think the Drunk Elephant one was a holiday thing that came with all of their products, and it was $360. Sorry, I'm sorry. The total price was $646. It saved $360. I don't know if that's true. I'm reading on musingsofamuse.com. Okay, it's on eBay for $550. Guys, don't buy makeup off eBay, please.
So I froze and came back to something that was $550. What are you talking about?
The Drunk Elephant skincare fridge that has all of their products in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, don't buy anything that is skincare and $550.
True. And also, realistically, you probably do not need a skincare fridge. However, if I haven't said it enough, I now live in Texas and it gets very hot here. So, depending on how quick and how often we're actually in the triple digits, I would consider spending up to $60 on a fridge to have on my makeup table to keep some of my products safe and happy.
I so support that. That is wonderful. What else we got?
Um, Huda Pastels palettes.
Oh, you know what? I really like those. I know we both had different opinions about those. I would say theoretical smash because I've been very into pastels and like I know that's like the thing right now, but I've really been digging pastels on the eyes, and I think she did a lot better with individual color stories because there were three palettes. It was like a pinkish pastel, a minty pastel, and a bluish pastel.
Mm-hmm.
I think she did a lot better with the color stories and like a variety of shades per palette than ColourPop did because they actually they beat her to the punch with the dupe this time. So yeah, I think she did a better job color story wise. I don't need it because every time I look at it and think, oh, I really want that and I want to buy it, I look at my fun size palette and like just a couple other shades I have here and there in my collection and kind of already have it. But if I didn't, I would 100% invest in those.
Yeah, so
Smash.
there's a rose, a mint, and a lilac, and they've grown on me. I think those are actually really smart color stories. I think they're really um, you can get more than one look out of them because there's
Yeah.
nothing more than I hate. That's not true. I hate a lot of things, but like a lot of those small mini 6 to 9 pan palettes are really attractive when you look
Mhm.
at them, and then when you get them, you're like, oh, I can basically do 3 different versions of like the same look, and that's it.
Yes, I bought the smoke. I don't know what it's called now. It was called Smoke Show, which like I love that I have it in the original name because I feel like it's contraband. But
Wait, they
um,
changed it?
yeah, I don't know why. It's called Blowing Smoke now.
I feel like that's worse.
So yeah, I have the Smoke Show one, and it's just so I bought it because I don't really have that many blacks, grays, and like silvers, and then sometimes I'm into that. But like, it's a one look palette. You can do smoky. And like that's got to be the case for the greens, the blues, the purples. Like there's no variety, there's no depth of um, color variety there. But yeah, I think Huda does a much better job with her 9 pen palettes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, even the neon ones. Remember
I
those came
have
out
2 of
and
them.
yeah, I really like them. When they came out, the both of us were just like, this is something actually different in the beauty sphere.
I think I have the pink and the orange, and they're fantastic.
They are. Let's talk about this charmed thing.
Oh, it's hideous.
It's so bad. Who is this?
It's a brand I've never
Sola.
heard of.
I've I've seen this on Trend Mood a couple of times. What they do, Sola Look is the brand, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, TV
They
and movie themed.
yes, they collaborate with TV and movies. I think they did Grease. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what other brands
I'm
or
looking at their
shows.
Instagram. There's a Clueless one, a
Yes.
Euphoria one. Are they
Oh,
getting
I
the
didn't know they.
licensing for this?
Yes. They are unlike that other brand. Remember the one that did the Harry Potter collab and then like was
Storybook.
yes, they were told like, hey, stop. But they are absolutely getting the rights to it. I just don't think anyone asked for this one.
Yeah, didn't they reboot it? Am I making that up? There's like a Charmed reboot or something.
Are you thinking of Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
No, but that's also a thing. I'm pretty sure they did something with Charmed. I will say that I last year maybe tried to watch Charmed. I never watched it growing up,
Okay,
and
me
I
neither.
think I made it through the first season. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, it feels so Sola look. I feel like they've done a lot of collabs with TV shows and movies that it's kind of just like, who asked for this? Like Euphoria, I get that's like the thing now. I haven't really watched it. But like Grease was a really random one. Clueless was cool, but it's like,
Dirty
mm,
Dancing?
yeah, right. Oh, was it Dirty Dancing, not Grease?
No, there's Grease, Dirty Dancing, Saved by the Bell. Wow, they're
Okay,
really
because
pumping them out.
I
Who's
was gonna say
asking for
sometimes I
this?
confuse the
I've
two.
kind of felt like this way always. Like I know Urban Decay they had an Alice in Wonderland palette, they had a Pulp Fiction palette, they did a Game of Thrones thing. I like none of it looks good.
No. Oh, the Urban Decay Game of Thrones thing. So that released before the heartbreak of Game of Thrones ended. And like I remember I was so freaking excited for the Urban Decay Game of Thrones collab because it brought me back to when they used to do like the Alice in Wonderland collabs and like so many cool palettes or like
Or like the packaging was this big like pop-up storybook thing, basically.
No, yes, there's another one I'm thinking of. Oh my God, what is the movie? I'm picturing John Travolta. Devin would kill. Pulp Fiction. The
I said Pulp
Pulp.
Fiction.
Did you? Okay, yeah, that one. It like brought me right back. I was like, oh, I bet this will be really cool, like their Pulp Fiction or like Alice in Wonderland one, or even like the Gwen Stefani one they did, and I was so stoked for it. And then it was like the most lackluster release ever.
I will say at least the Pulp Fiction one made sense. It was like small,
Yeah.
compact, dark neutrals. Like
Hmm.
still kind of thought it was weird. Though if you listen to our previous episode, we talked a lot about Urban Decay and drug
We
references
did.
in their naming, and it kind of makes sense that that wasn't kind of for me. But as a general statement, I'm not super into the movie and TV collabs for makeup.
Yeah.
One exception being, I believe it was Besame, maybe? They're like
They
kind of do
do
like
it.
a vintagey style, and I believe they released a shade for Peggy Carter in the Agent Carter TV show,
Yes, they
which was
did.
canceled prematurely and was a fantastic show, and you should all watch it.
Um, Besame does a phenomenal job with all of their uh movie collabs because they put more thought into the history of the makeup that would exist in that time period.
Yeah, that I'm here for. I'm
Yeah.
super into that.
Yeah, so I am gonna go ahead and give a hell nah to Charmed and a hell yeah to Besame, which is not something new, but just needed recognition in this moment. I also wanted to talk about, speaking of collaborations, the ColourPop Mulan.
No, no.
Yeah, I know. I feel like so I'm looking at it here on my iPad. First of all, stop putting glitter in palettes that's marketed towards children.
Not eye safe glitter specifically,
Yeah.
which ColourPop is like notorious for.
So so here's the thing about ColourPop. I love their Super Shock shadows, and I own a small amount of ColourPop, like not an overwhelming amount. I don't buy every new release. I buy things when I think it fits my collection and my needs because they are very affordable. And after seeing them on that documentary on Netflix, where they talked about counterfeit makeup, I like their approach to makeup, but like they've got to stop putting glitter in palettes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mulan though.
Um, it's not for me. I don't really like the Disney thing. I mean, we literally just talked about TV and movies with makeup.
I
I
know that's
think
why.
it's overly targeting younger crowds,
Hmm.
which irks me. I will give
Um.
them credit though, because it looks like the shades in this palette are actually fit for somebody of a darker skin tone. And
Oh,
Mulan is Asian.
hold on. Color me corrected. So I'm looking at Trend Mood, and it says in her ridiculous hype machine like language here, a mix of matte, shimmered, foiled shades, parentheses, no pressed glitters. Was this just looks like a pressed glitter to me?
Wait, does that mean that it's eye safe?
Yeah, I suppose so.
So they made something not specifically for white people that is eye safe?
Yeah,
All right. Go ColourPop. Still not gonna buy it though.
yeah, I'm still I'm still gonna give it a pass. Um, but yeah, that's
Mm,
better than I expected.
I'm a bit
Uh,
shiny. I got a little shiny, guys. Sorry for anybody watching.
um, the pineapple exfoliating powder from Good Molecules. What is your thought on exfoliating powders?
Um, let me see if I can look up the ingredients real quick. Um, and while I look that up, I wanted to mention while we were talking about the Huda
Mm.
pastels, those are a hypothetical smash if I didn't already own all the pastels. But I know you have some feelings about the Menagerie Pastel Pup palette.
Okay, let me just preface this with I have been building my hypothetical dream olive palette on Menagerie Cosmetics website for like a month now, but it's really expensive, and with all that's gone down, I just can't justify spending $50 right now. Um, I've heard their shadows are incredible, And I recently started following the brand, and I saw now that like pastels are my life, they released like a teaser with a little baby seal and just that it was going to be pastels. And I was just like so excited, but so disappointed with the release. They are just like slightly too white based of a shadow, where I think on even my skin tone, which is very white right now, would be way too washed out on the eyes.
It's a little, for those of you that may recall, before we kicked her out of the brand, Kat Von D did a pastel
Pastel
goth
goth.
palette, which was like a few steps shy of what we actually like needed in the market. Need is a
Yeah,
obviously, adjust your expectations. We're talking about need, but we're talking about makeup. But
yeah.
pastel goth was like not quite right, and I feel like pastel pup is the same.
Yeah, it's just slightly too washed out for it to be practical and like
Like you're
it
competing with
is.
Sugar Pill Fun Size.
I was gonna say it's like if you think Sugar Pill Fun Size is a perfect companion palette when it comes to pastels to rainbows and bright colors, think of this as one notch below that where it would be a good companion palette to your companion palette. I just don't think it's something that people need.
Maybe if you're super fair skinned.
Makeup is subjective and like what I want and need is not what you want and need because we're complete opposites and like what you want and need is, everybody has different tastes, but at the end of the day, I don't think that there's a big enough audience for that.
I agree. And now I'm
Yeah.
ready to talk about the Good Molecules Pineapple Exfoliating Powder.
Oh, hell yeah.
Uh,
Tell me what you
ingre-
think.
Ingredients seem okay. I'm not a scientist, but I do obsessively read Beautypedia and
Hmm.
learn about about ingredients in general. I will say Tatcha had like a rice
Oh,
exfoliating
yeah.
powder, and I remember Beautypedia scientists basically saying like cool concept, but because the pieces of rice are not all going to be uniform in size, there's like a really high risk of micro tears in your skin,
Hmm.
and that there's a better way to use those enzymes to exfoliate. So, as pineapple exfoliating thing, I'm here for. Powder freaks me out a little bit in the same way that I'm not really into like a coffee scrub or a sugar scrub for my face either.
That's fair. Yeah, I could definitely understand that. I kind of want to try it if that, like, I understand the risks and it wouldn't be like an everyday exfoliator because like I do have like I use my AHAs uh on a daily basis, but like this wouldn't make its way into the routine as like a daily. But I am very curious still to try something like that.
I'm looking at the instructions and it says to mix with a few drops of water to form a soft paste. So
Hmm.
I guess if you added maybe more than just a few drops of water, where it really was more liquidy than hard,
Yeah,
and like remember that exfoliating powders and stuff like that, like they're already doing the work and you don't need to put a
right.
lot of pressure onto your skin.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with a curious smash.
All right, I'm not mad about it.
Do you want to do two more each?
Yeah, I want to talk about the Urban Decay Wired palette,
Oh,
which is basically an updated reimagining of the, what was it, the electric palette.
I still have it, and it is still one of my favorites.
Would you say that the electric palette was like one of the first of the modern day bright
Yes,
eyeshadow palettes?
absolutely, and I think it is still to this day one of the better ones.
Sorry, my chair keeps like slowly lowering and I have to keep lifting it up. I never bought Urban Decay electric palette because they're owned by L'Oreal and I have some issues with L'Oreal. Um, but I kind of always wanted it. And then I saw that they were discontinuing it. And now I just kind of forever have to live with the fact that I never got the electric palette. And then the wired palette came out and I have some issues with it. I watched Makeup Mouse's video about it today. I kind of want it. Even though they're still owned by L'Oreal and you're frozen again. You froze.
Dufers.
Hopefully the
um,
recording is okay. All right, UD wired palette. I have an issue in that Oh my God, you're frozen again. There's probably so many people using Zoom right now. I'm just going to keep talking because it's on my computer and it's recording. So I'm just going to go. Maybe you're frozen
Maybe.
with like a winky eye. Okay. I'm just going to keep talking. It's recording on my computer. So if it does freeze, hopefully it still catches me talking.
Yeah.
I like that they split up the ones that are not technically eye safe according to ingredients by the FDA in the US. However, it's 2020 and like surely you could have figured out how to make this eye safe by now.
Okay, I have thoughts about that too. I agree. But also, I would like to acknowledge and recognize that the FDA's approval of eye-safe ingredients is different than the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And I am much less hesitant to try like a bright pink shade that says not safe for eyes in the United States. It doesn't really concern me. However, with that being said, I would like to commend Urban Decay for finally releasing something colorful because I have been so bored with their naked parade
Yeah.
and so excited for the Wired palette that I'm going to give it a smash just because I'm thrilled to see them do something like this again.
Okay, when we are done recording, I'm going to send you the video from Makeup Mouse, Heather Morehouse. I'm like
Yeah.
in love with her right now. But she did a video with it today. She did 3 looks, like the 3 looks, 1 palette, formula, tutorial, whatever. I had some feelings because I know Temptalia like tore it apart.
Oh my God, she said it was like the worst palette of all time, and that really broke my heart because I wanted it to be good. I really did.
Heather, Makeup Mouse, whatever, she's both of those things. She swatched it compared to the electric palette, and actually some of the shades in the electric palette are much brighter, but also it's like it looks dated now if you look at the electric palette. And the Wired palette is definitely updated, more modern approach. You frozen?
Hey.
Just kept talking and then I was like, fuck. Okay, I'm just going to stop here and say it seems like the entire world is using Zoom right now, which is what we use to film and record our podcasts. And things keep freezing. So hopefully this recorded okay. But we're going to call it quits here. And you should follow us on Instagram at Beauty Birds Podcast and Simply Terrible and Beka and Eggs. And check out the blog post for this episode at beautybirdspodcast.com and follow us on Twitter at beautybirdspod. And we love you. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. And we'll see you next week.